represents a guy's broken heart.
Okay.
So,
the SNAP program are emblematic of that commitment. SNAP, we're spending $405 million a day on SNAP. And about 10% is going to sugary drinks. And between, and if you add candies to that, it's about 13 to 17%. And we all believe in free choice. We live in a democracy. People can make their own choice about what they're going to buy and what they're not going to buy. If you want to buy a sugary soda, you ought to be able to do that. But the U.S. taxpayer should not pay for it. The U.S. taxpayer should not be paying to feed kids foods, the poorest kids in our country, with foods that are going to give them diabetes. And then my agency ends up through Medicaid and Medicare paying for those injuries. So we're going to put an end to that, and we're doing it step by step, state by state.
People that forced you to get vaccinated to keep your job, then let in 10 million people who were unvaccinated and unemployed. I still can't believe that changing a picture on a box of pancake mix didn't result in world peace. NFL stadiums have walls, and fans that haven't paid for a ticket aren't allowed in. Period. Doesn't matter if you've traveled thousands of miles, or if you have a little kid with you, or if you cry outside the gate, they still won't let you in. Fascinating concept. Do you really think handing over your gun ends gun violence? That's like chopping off your own dick to stop rape. It's funny how Congress, who doesn't know how to balance a budget, knows how to make themselves millionaires. If you outlaw abortions, abortions will just happen illegally. But if you outlaw guns, then we'll all be safe. Women really saw their husbands come back from 12 hours of work, miserable and tired, and thought, gee, I want to do that too.
Pretty funny. Moon man!
They could face removal from...
Texas House Democrats refuse to return to Texas by Governor Greg Abbott's 3 p.m. deadline. They have scheduled a press conference for 7 p.m. tonight in Illinois.
Office if they are not back by 4 o'clock Eastern time today. Instead, they just announced a press conference at 7 p.m. And where are they? In Warrenville, Illinois, is where those Texas representatives will be speaking from, just about an hour outside of Chicago. This evening around 7 o'clock. They've been in Illinois, they've been in other states. They're protesting this GOP effort to redraw the congressional map. We know that both sides, Republicans and Democrats, are pretty good at getting very creative in carving out these lines. The Texas governor feels this is a legitimate move. The president supports it as well. We'll see where this whole thing goes. We'll be watching. The Texas House Democrats will not be returning to their home state, despite Governor Abbott's warning that they could face removal from office if they are not back by 4 o'clock Eastern time today. Instead, they just announced a press conference at 7 p.m. And where are they? In Warrenville, Illinois, is where those Texas representatives will be speaking.
Hey, was y'all, just about an hour outside of Chicago. You stopped off over there where
they've been in
RVs
Illinois,
at?
they've been in other states. They're protesting this GOP effort to redraw the congressional map.
Said you wasn't going to do it.
Sides, Republicans and Democrats, are pretty good at getting
Jody
very
said you wasn't
creative
going to do it
in carving out these lines.
Donnie was sleeping, and you had been told not to wake him up.
The president supports it as well. We'll see where this whole thing goes. We'll be watching. The Texas House Democrats will not be returning to their home state, despite Governor Abbott's warning that they could face removal from office.
Did you give him that burger?
Rights do men have the...
Huh? You didn't give him the burger? Not yet. What about the fried bologna sandwich? You didn't give him that either? Why?
I think he's resting. I didn't want to mess his rest up.
What about them burritos?
Yeah, me and Jody.
that women don't.
Well, men are always been number one. and we're like coming up behind them,
Okay.
and we have voices too, and we have positions that we could help.
Yeah.
And they just keep pushing us back. And now we're going back to the 1930s. Hello.
But
Women, wake
what
up.
specific rights do men have that are excluded from women?
Excluded from women?
Yeah.
Power, money.
Is that a right?
Their rights, yes, but they use it in the wrong way.
Do you have a right to money?
No.
Do you have a right to power?
No, it's something that you earn and something
Okay.
that you use.
Okay, so what is a specific right that is listed only for men but not for women?
I don't have an answer to that because I think we're equal. All people are equal.
Right. I agree with you, yeah.
We're equal.
So because I know you said that women.
Fucking lunatic nut job.
How do you rate Donald Trump's second term so far, sir?
I feel like this is one of the first presidents that's actually doing what they said they was gonna do. Like most people go on their campaign
Dirt
trail,
Farm.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and they get in office and they don't do none of that. Like he doing everything he said he was gonna do.
Well,
And
no,
it's
not
I feel
necessarily.
like it's right for the country.
Because he
Go ahead.
he said on day one he was going to bring the price of groceries down. He said on day one he was going to bring inflation down. You know, he said that he won the election on one word, which was groceries. I mean, clearly, people aren't feeling that relief yet in their pockets.
What do you do for a living, sir?
I work for a bank.
Okay.
But okay, so everybody know in your
Huh?
right mind, there's no way somebody could do something instantly. But in terms of what has happened in this
Mine was
within
more
this year,
perfect.
it's crazy. Like it's no way that you can see the last 4 years and how
Huh?
garbage it was, and then look at just this first half of the year and think
Yeah.
stuff is not going in a positive direction.
I'm holding my president accountable to the things that he said he was going to do, and those things haven't
Okay,
been done yet.
I got you. He said he was going to bring stuff down instantly, do this instantly. Okay.
He said he was
cool.
going. He said he was going to end all the wars immediately, day one. He said he was going to do these things on day one.
Got you. So you want to be literal to that sense? Cool. I understand. You right. He didn't do all of these things instantly, but I feel like everything is going in the right direction as planned. Did you talk about the European deal? Did you talk about stuff that is happening in a positive direction? It's like I feel like the issue and I've never considered myself to be a Republican
Oh, y'all got
or
that shit
anything
taped
like
up in
that.
there?
Like everybody grew up as we supposed to be Democrats. That's how everybody grew up. I'm from Detroit, but
Delta
so,
and B and C.
but when you get a little older, you actually look at things that have to look at things that people saying versus what they do. I can't roll on the Democratic train no more. Like it's a bunch of people saying stuff that don't even make sense.
Well, what has he done?
On the other end,
No, you reported.
Like, what has he done then? Like, because, the question was, how would you rate his presidency this far? So give us some things that he has done then. Shed light on it for
Bullshit,
us.
you did that
You haven't
last
told us
month.
nothing he's done. You said the European deal. The crazy thing about the European deal, the tariff last year was like 1.5%. Now it's 15. So how does increased tariffs help us?
okay. So do you think that other countries should be able to tariff us, but we don't tariff nobody else? Like that makes sense to you?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You
I have a low
think-
IQ.
Exactly. Okay. So other countries have been putting tariffs on our country, but we have been giving people no tariff.
Yes.
This is the first time since 30s that we're actually bringing in billions of dollars from tariffs.
Okay.
And
But you
I
know,
feel like that's a positive
but
deal
you
for our
know,
country.
but you know, we fit the bill for that. We
That
the people.
affects us.
Like we the
That's
people
what
fit the
we're
bill for those
paying.
tariffs.
No, that's not true either.
I can't have this
Like,
conversation with you if you're not gonna be honest, sir.
No. I'm being 100% honest. So if you look at the actual fact, other people are accounting for those tariffs in the sense of those businesses they're not raising our prices. They are taking the hit on them.
Okay, and what else? What else has he done? Please shed the light on it.
You think a whole bunch of prices been going up?
No. You keep asking us questions. No, shed the light on what he has done. What do you rate his presidency? What is he doing for
A
you?
plus.
for you.
Got you. Okay. Okay. So from an immigration perspective, I actually like that you put work requirements on certain social aid things, because we all know that people sit at home, people steal their EBT funds, people like, yeah, okay, you got work requirements now. That I feel like that's a positive for everything.
Okay.
Everybody should go to work. go to work. You go to work. I go to work. Everybody should go to work, but you know it's people that sit at home and don't do nothing all day. Sit on their porch.
Well, thank you for calling, brother.
That's your opinion. I'm not mad at it. You know, listen, I hope those things that he said is true. I want the
Charlemagne of God's a piece of shit. I shared information with a Trump admin official that one of the FBI special agent pilots assigned to the flight of private jet used by FBI Director Cash was the case agent on the case resulting in the Mar-a-Lago search warrant.
Never going to be enough left for them. They are insatiable.
Well, it's a suicide march, Harris. You know, I remember a day when Democrats insisted that the Republican Party sever ties with David Duke because of his association with the Klan. Well, now the Democrats, large parts of the Democratic Party and the left are associated with a terrorist Nazi movement masquerading as a liberation movement. And it's largely because the leadership doesn't have the spine to stand up and say, this is wrong. They just don't have the moral clarity. You know, the word Nazi, which we've heard a lot of, Harris, means the National Socialist Party, the National Socialist Workers' Party of Germany in the 1930s. The socialist movement has had a long history of anti-Semitism, and either these useful idiots who are demanding, you know, and sort of parroting the language, the rhetoric of Hamas, either don't understand the issue, or they are, in many cases, funded by foreign sources, and it is taking the party to a very dangerous place where I think it is, you know, it could mean the death of the party.
It would be nice.
Administration just announced minutes ago they will be withholding natural disaster relief funds to states and cities.
Boycott Israel.
To put a ban on stock trading for members of Congress is even a thing is because of Nancy Pelosi. I mean, she is rightfully criticized because she makes, I think, $174,000 a year, yet she has a net worth of approximately $413 million. In 2024, Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio, this was a fascinating statistic to me, grew 70% in 1 year in 2024.
Now, I did have to lay in the tub when I messed my back up before I went to the doctor, because I couldn't stand up to pee, and I didn't have no bottle. And when Joyce got home from Bainbridge, I said, hey, can you get me a bottle so I can pee in it? Because it's killing me to go in there and pee in the tub.
And her portfolio outperformed every single large hedge fund in that same year, and even more than doubled the returns of Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway. So I think the president stands with the American people on this. He doesn't want to see people like Nancy Pelosi enriching themselves off of public service and ripping off their constituents in the process. As to put a ban on stock trading for members.
Phenomenal numbers. We'll be announcing a new statistician sometime over the next 3-4 days.
Pause. What you want to pause for?
We had no confidence. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous, what she announced. But that was just one negative number. All of the numbers seem to be great. And so we'll see how
what are them crown things?
And if you remember, just before the election, this woman came out with these phenomenal numbers on Biden's economy. Phenomenal numbers. And then, right after the election, they announced that those numbers were wrong.
No, he comes in here and tells me what he's got going on out there.
It's a scam.
He's giving me an update on what the guys are doing.
It's just
he comes in and says, Jody ain't working.
Arby thought I was joking when I asked him. We'll be announcing a new statistician sometime over the next 3-4 days. We had no confidence. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous, what she announced. But that was just one negative number. All of the numbers seem to be great. And so we'll see how that comes out. And if you remember, just before the election, this woman came out with these phenomenal numbers on Biden's economy. Phenomenal numbers. And then right after the election, they announced that those numbers were wrong. And that's what they did the other day. So it's a scam, in my opinion. My opinion is just It's just additional scam. Phenomenal.
That's gonna piss her
We'll
off.
be announcing a new
Cody.
statistician sometime over the next 3 or 4 days. We had no confidence. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous, what she announced. But that was just one negative number. All of the numbers seem to be great. And so we'll see how that comes out. And if you remember, just before the election, this woman came out with these phenomenal numbers.
They know your phone number.
I got
economy.
Over 200.
Numbers. And then right after the election, they announced that those numbers were wrong. And that's what they did the other day. So
it's a
scam, in my opinion. My opinion is it's just additional scam. Phenomenal numbers. We'll be announcing a new statistician sometime over the next 3 or 4 days. We had no confidence. I mean, the numbers were ridiculous, what she announced. But that was just one negative number.
Not bad.
Hey, your name Keisha?
I'm pretty good.
Hey, what's up? My name is D. I'm from the finance company. I want to...
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Me in Georgia.
As was reflected in the ODNI documents that we released on Friday, multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th of 2016, the FBI and ODNI gave the House Intelligence Committee its first post-election classified briefing, in which there was no mention of Putin aspiring to elect Trump by either agency. The Presidential Daily Brief, drafted on December 8th of 2016, stated that no Russian or criminal actors impacted vote counts. This document was pulled just hours before it was to be published due to quote-unquote new guidance. If it had been published, it would have been briefed to both President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump. On December 9th, 2016, a National Security Council meeting was called to gather President Obama's senior national security officials, which included CIA Director Brennan, then Obama DNI James Clapper, Susan Rice, and others. Following that secret meeting, DNI Clapper's assistant sent an email to the intelligence community with the subject line, POTUS tasking on Russia election meddling, tasking ODNI leaders to create a new assessment per the president's request. The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report that we released today reveals that, quote, unlike routine intelligence community analysis, the intelligence community assessment was a high-profile product ordered by the President Obama. It directed senior intelligence community agency heads and created an intelligence community assessment limited to just 5 analysts, using one principal drafter. This is not something that occurs in the normal path of producing an intelligence community assessment that reflects the views across the intelligence community. The production of this intelligence community assessment was subject to unusual directives directly from the president.
This is live. Obama in jail, shocking arrest in America on Trump's orders.
The former director of the CIA, John Brennan.
That's what this is.
The House Intelligence Committee Oversight Report also shows how later that same day, on December 9th, Brennan ordered the publication of quote-unquote substandard reporting on Russian activities, which had previously been withheld from publication of prior assessments because the information was judged, quote, to have not met long-standing publication standards. Some of the information
Chapman.
later used in the Obama-ordered assessment over the objections of veteran CIA officers was quote-unquote unclear or from unknown sources.
Chapman's.
The Intelligence Committee's Oversight Report reveals that CIA Director Brennan overruled senior CIA officers who challenged the Obama-ordered intelligence assessment, stating, quote, we don't have direct information that Putin wanted to get Trump elected. Yet, the Obama-directed assessment was published on January 6, 2017, which explicitly stated, quote, we assess Putin and the Russian government aspired to help President-elect Trump's election chances,
pretty good,
when possible, by discrediting Secretary Clinton and publicly contrasting her unfavorably to him, end of quote. The CIA and FBI, then led by John Brennan and James Comey, expressed high confidence in this judgment, while the NSA expressed moderate confidence. Yet, as the report we released today shows, the ICA, the Intelligence Community Assessment, did not cite any report where Putin indicated helping Trump win was an objective. the opposite is true. With regards to the Steele dossier, we now know that one of the source documents that the Obama administration used in the creation of this intelligence assessment in January of 2017 was none other than the discredited, unverified Steele dossier. The House Intel report states, quote, contradicting public claims by then CIA Director Brennan that the dossier was not in any way incorporated into this intelligence assessment. The dossier was referenced in the intelligence assessment's main body text and further detailed in a 2-page assessment annex. John Brennan lied, and he denied using this dossier in this intelligence assessment that President Obama ordered because he knew it was discredited. It was a politically motivated, manufactured document. He directed senior CIA officials to use it anyway. CIA officer told the House Intelligence Committee staff as they investigated this, quote, the director of the CIA, John Brennan, refused to remove it, and when confronted with the dossier's many flaws, responded, quote, yes, but doesn't it ring true? Even the bipartisan Senate Select Committee on Intelligence report published in 2020 criticized the FBI's handling of the Steele dossier, noting its completely unverified nature and purposeful sidestepping of intelligence community procedures in its use. Now, President Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey, and others, including their mouthpieces in the media, knowingly lied as they repeated the contrived narrative that was created in this January 2017 intelligence community assessment with high confidence as though it were fact. John Brennan, as CIA director, stated in a memo to his agency staff in December of 2016, saying, quote, there is strong consensus among us on the scope, nature, and intent of Russian interference in our presidential election. This was reported by NBC News, confirming that Brennan, along with James Clapper and James Comey, agreed with the CIA's assessment that Russia intervened to help Trump win the presidency.
I don't see nothing in the news about it.
No, you've been critical. You've had your bones to pick with President Trump. If you took his name out of it and looked solely at what has happened, the policies and the things that have changed around the world and in our country over the first 6 months, how do you rate his presidency so far?
I wouldn't give it a good rating.
Why not?
Simply because, the least of us are still being impacted the worst. Like when you look at something like, the big beautiful bill, that's something that, I'm going to benefit from because of the tax bracket that I'm in. But, there's going to be so many people that's hurt by that bill. And, anything that, takes away Medicaid from people and will put people in a worse financial situation than, they were previously in, I'm not for. And, he ran on that. Like, he ran on, the economy. He ran on saying that, grocery prices are going to be down and,
That has happened.
No.
Inflation is trending down. And by the way, Medicaid, we want to make sure that people who are not actual recipients or shouldn't be getting Medicaid are off of Medicaid so it can actually benefit more people. There is good stuff in that bill, though. You have the 2017 tax cuts that are made permanent, and that really is for everybody. But that's for everyone. Everyone in this country is impacted by that. You also have things, by the way, like money going to school choice for parents all across this country. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of good that I think will come out of the big beautiful bill. But what about things like?
Right now, people are hurting, and he campaigned on immediate change, day one change,
and you don't think you felt any change? People aren't feeling change.
No.
Do you?
Charlemagne's a liar.
The Russia collusion hoax against President Trump remains the single greatest hoax and the greatest assault on our democracy in the history of this country. There's no comparison, there's no parallel to anything else. It was a coup, and I'm using that term literally. It was a coup to overthrow a democratically elected government, a coup carried out by the intelligence apparatus of this country, by the deep state, by Hillary Clinton and the Democrat Party. The new information that has been revealed by the Director of National Intelligence and by the FBI eliminates any scintilla of doubt about the intention, the premeditation, the planning and orchestration of this.
Hello? Hello?
Conspiracy. It meets all of the criminal elements of a seditious conspiracy against the United States. It meets the criminal elements of an insurrection. It meets the criminal elements of a conspiracy against the government and the criminal elements of a conspiracy to deprive citizens of their civil rights under color of law. One egregious felony after another. And because it is a conspiracy, as demonstrated by the forethought of realizing and documenting that they understood that this was fake from the beginning, meeting the mens rea standard in law. Because of that, because it is a conspiracy, every single individual actor is now part of that conspiracy. So that includes Brennan and Clapper and Comey and Hillary and Schiff and everybody else who knowingly and willfully perpetrated this plot, this coup, this conspiracy, this scheme against President Trump and the government of the United States. And now is the time and the hour and the moment for accountability so that we can reclaim this democracy, Maria.
Trump donates his whole salary again. I don't know who he donated to. Said he donated his entire salary again.
No other president, they say, with the possible exception of George Washington, and they haven't been able to find those records. And we've had wealthy presidents before, but no other president has contributed the salary. And they told me before this that you will probably be asking me whether or not I'm going to contribute my salary again, but you haven't asked that.
Are you going to?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Well, I appreciate we just made news there.
100% of his presidential salary. Confirms AWOL Democrats could face second-degree felony bribery charges after fleeing a redistricting vote, reportedly on a $40 million private jet costing $15,000 an hour. The boys down in Texas been to go to jail.
To not having a wife. I went on deployment to Okinawa, Japan. My wife the dude 1 week into that deployment. Now I don't have one. Well, how long were you together? I've known her my whole life, since I was like elementary school the whole way on to high school, joined the Navy, married the girl, now we're here, single. I'm sorry to hear that, bro. It is what it is.
Cause them bitches is whores.
I wonder if he was a whore.
No difference in the Donald Trump.
She cheated while he was deployed overseas defending our country. Yeah,
if you remember,
when he was in Japan, when he got
before
deployed
the
to Japan.
election, this woman came out with these phenomenal numbers.
You saw in the interview
She cheated
that
on
I
him
saw
one weekend.
Version of this event.
Yeah, but
Because they're deployed. You can't have your spouse on the front line fighting people.
Live in a little back country.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Why?
Because you can't. You have civilians getting killed.
Okay,
But I agree, Mika.
What's wrong with our civilians getting killed if they're killing civilians?
With what Kenny said, like, why keep going back to it? Why keep muddying the water when you have Marco Rubio in the Senate Intel Committee, your own Secretary of State, saying Paul Manafort in the 2016 Trump campaign posed a, quote, grave counterintelligence threat to the United States of America. You have John Durham admitting that there wasn't a Clinton conspiracy, that actually the two emails at the heart of that, even though he spent the entire report trying to prove this, in the annex, he hides it in the annex. And, well, yeah, the two key emails were actually most likely products of Russian disinformation. Like, move on. Get past it. The only people talking about Russia right now are Tulsi Gabbard and others to try to distract from other things. It's not a winner for Donald Trump. It's not a winner for John Durham. It's not a winner for people in that. I mean, look at Donald Trump. He is president in large part, whether you agreed with the charges or not. He's president in large part, and he will say it himself, because he sat at a defendant's table throughout the summer of his political campaign. This does not work politically. It always ends up blowing up politically in the face of the people who are going after the other side. That's why Tom Cotton's saying, you know, the Hatch Act? Seriously, give us some facts here. The Hatch Act? That's all you got? Again, it's just a losing political proposition.
I don't see them bitches locked up. The media help spread the lies.
Information, our department has encouraged states to think differently and creatively about.
So they finna make soda, candy, and junk foods not eligible for food stamps.
How to solve the many health issues facing Americans. One way is by not.
She gets them on food stamps, she won't.
Yeah, she gets on food stamps. That sucks. They don't have nothing.
It's tasty. What the hell do you?
Cut one open and the inside looks incredibly marbled and delicious. What is it? It's a traditional Turkish delicacy, air-dried beef, also known as pasterma. It's flat for a reason. The preparation process is super specific and carefully done, all to make sure the beef lasts a long time and tastes amazing. First, they cure the meat with a ton of salt, not just for flavor, but to kill off any bacteria. Then it goes into a machine that compresses it for hours, squeezing out as much moisture as possible so it doesn't spoil from leftover juices. Next comes the key step. They coat the meat in a thick layer of spiced paste. This not only adds tons of flavor, but also acts like a protective shell to keep air out. And thanks to Turkey's naturally dry climate, these cured beef slabs can stay good for ages without refrigeration.
It's like
in
beef
fact,
jerky,
the
man.
longer it sits, the deeper and richer the flavor becomes. So yeah, it may not look fancy at first glance, but one bite of this stuff and you'll get why it's so addictive.
Look good.
You ever had a Wagyu steak?
Who?
A Wagyu steak?
Wagyu? Oh. Are you?
On a deck, and the material is not in terrible shape, and that's exactly why I built this deck like this. I wanted to reuse smaller pieces that I had taken off. I didn't have a lot of long pieces.
If possible, we'll do a complete.
This. Over the weekend, ABC News and George Stephanopoulos had to say sorry to Trump and shell out $15 million. Stephanopoulos falsely accused Trump of rape. They were about to go through depositions, and ABC did not want to start discovery and hand over emails, so they paid. We're being told the money will go to help build Trump's presidential library. Biden's not getting a presidential library, and ABC's already building Trump's. The media is on high alert. Brian Seltzer says the press better be honest or they'll go broke.
The media lawyers are worried about this. They're preparing for it. They are preparing their newsrooms for it with the expectation of more lawsuits, more leak investigations, more subpoenas in the months and years to come. But now, as you said, $15 million for Trump's future museum. I imagine there will be an ABC News hall of fake news. You know, there will be some attempt to troll as a result of this.
The media is upset because they're not allowed to say whatever they want about Trump anymore, whether it's true or not.
I think it's problematic for the ability of the press to cover public figures. This is a case in which Donald Trump is the most public of all figures, and it didn't meet what George Stephanopoulos said, in my opinion. And those who believe in free speech, like the person to my right, Joe, we want to keep some penumbra where you get to say things about public figures.
What's up,
Cabinet
girl?
nominees like Pete Hegseth and Kash Patel are suggesting.
I'm just waiting on hump day there, Jennifer. I did 10 miles this weekend. 6 on Saturday and 4 yesterday. Trying to get back in shape.
Suggesting that they too could take people to court over what's been said about them. Even pollsters are on notice. Ann Selzer from the Des Moines Register, who put out a suppression poll on the eve of the election that had Kamala up 3. She lost Iowa by 13. She might have to be held accountable.
I'm doing this not because I want to. I'm doing this because I feel I have an obligation to. I'm going to be bringing one against the people in Iowa, their newspaper, which had a very, very good pollster who got me right all the time. And then just before the election, she said I was going to lose by 3 or 4 points, and it became the biggest story all over the world because I was going to win Iowa by 20 points. The farmers loved me, and I loved the farmers. And it was interesting the way she did it. She brought it down 2 weeks before. She said I was going to only win by 4. That was a big story.
Democrats and the media created a corrupt bubble. It was emotionally cozy until it popped on November 5th.
Every day is hump day.
We woke up in a body bag on election day and didn't even know it. Why? Because we thought that because CNN, NPR, New York Times, all of the mainstream media was pretty much beating the hell out of Trump, that Trump was getting the hell beat out of him. The mainstream media is actually now, by the numbers, the fringe.
Yeah, the fringe can't hold an audience after Comcast announced it was spinning off MSNBC, and now Warner Brothers is reportedly looking to spin off CNN, which is currently getting beaten by the Cartoon Network.
Part of my practice is criminal defense work. There is no felony in the Texas Penal Code for what he says. So, respectfully, he's making up some shit. Okay? He's trying to get sound bites, and he has no legal mechanism. And if he did, subpoenas from Texas don't work in New York. So he gonna come get us how? Subpoenas in Texas don't work in Chicago. He's gonna come get us how? So let me be clear. He's putting up smoke and mirrors. And I'm hopeful that the media doesn't follow that. I will also say this. I'm a lawyer.
How about this right here? You're supposed to be in Texas working, not in New York or Chicago. How about that? Judicial arrest warrants has passed. Texas Speaker of the House Burrows has stated that members will be arrested, even the Democrat member hosting a fundraiser in Austin. Burrows says DPS should be invited to the fundraiser.
Vote on that end for members out of state and any that remain in the state going forward.
I have signed the civil arrest warrants. We will work with DPS to locate members. I saw, for instance, there is one member who said that they're doing a fundraiser here in Austin tomorrow. And I've sent that fundraising letter to DPS and said they should be invited to attend as well. We'll see how that goes forward.
They ain't gonna stop until you start arresting
Texas
people.
House Democrats will not be returning to their home state despite Governor Abbott's warning that they could face removal from office if they are not back by 4 o'clock Eastern time today. Instead, they just announced a press conference at 7 p.m. And where are they? In Warrenville, Illinois.
Yeah, Trump was over in Scotland. He's got a house over there. I think he's got a golf course.
About an hour outside of Chicago this evening around 7 o'clock.
He was just dropping in to see how they were keeping everything up. If they was changing the sheets and stuff.
Map. We know that both sides, Republicans and Democrats, are pretty good at getting very creative in carving out these lines.
He might have wanted to make love in Scotland. And he said, hey, we need to take Air Force One over. I need to bust one over there in Scotland.
Texas
because I'm the president and I can do that sort of thing.
Feels this is a
legit. Ain't never been to Scotland. Love to go over there. Them girls, them redheaded girls over there. Ooh. And I like blondes.
The president supports it as well. We'll see where this whole thing goes. We'll be watching. The Texas House Democrats will not be.
He was making love in Scotland over there. Yeah. What do they call that? Ain't that where Nessie's at?
Police department, search warrant.
Can you not take my nails? Where are you going? Why are you approaching me? Can you not? Sir, can I... What the fuck?
Get him.
Bless you. That's just bad.
Oh shit. Hey, you motherfucker.
how you cross over right there.
Motion prevails. The Sergeant-at-Arms and any officers appointed by her are directed to send for all absentees whose attendance is not excused for the purposes of securing and maintaining their attendance under warrant of arrest if necessary until further order of the House.
Chapman's.
Members, under the rules, while the House is under a call, any member who wishes to leave the hall must have written permission of the Speaker. The Chair is providing written permission to be entered in the journal for each member registered as present on today's roll call to leave the chamber and return tomorrow at 1 p.m. Please return at the appointed time.
Chapman's.
Mr. Guerin moves that the House stand adjourned until 1 p.m. Tuesday. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and the House stands adjourned. The motion prevails. The Sergeant-at-Arms and any officer...
Yeah, they're not going to stop doing illegal shit until you start arresting their asses. About 6. That steward out there making noise.
Yeah, $2. Can you see it? Can I see it? I got in a fight. Yeah, when was this?
Huh?
2 days ago. Yeah, they did me. No, we finna what happened?
Yeah, they doing good. Yeah, they doing pretty good.
When I get buzzed, it's freedom. There's a wall that she hits majorly up. And once she hits that wall, you know, you either want to run or prepare yourself because it's coming.
Because I'm under the influence, you up. I'm having a good time.
But you're yelling at everybody.
When she's drunk, she's pretty mean.
Get the out.
Mean drunk.
It can be actually frightening.
She's got a knife.
I have to function. Get your together. But my drinking right now...
She's in there crying.
...is something that my body needs.
Her body is rotten from all the alcohol.
She shakes in the morning. She has heart palpitations. I actually had a mini stroke. Oh, the doctor.
She's out there yelling at the damn neighbors in the front yard. She's drunk as hell. That lady right there.
Asked me if I had stopped drinking. Wow. And I said no, because I don't want to. His last words to me were, good luck.
People say the darndest things.
Oh, good luck.
Tell how much money she's wasted on alcohol over the years.
Julia's idea about Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections. That should distract people from her own missing emails, especially if this affair goes to the Olympic level. Now, this story, as we pointed out, and again, you can check it out on Spotify or Apple, that Miranda and I had a long conversation, which she wrote about in the New York Post, was covered exhaustively in the mainstream media in 2016. Some well over 2,000 minutes of coverage. The story you're now hearing today and have heard over the last week or so has only been reported on something like 2 minutes in ABC, CBS, and NBC. 1/1000th of the original coverage. It'll be hard, Buck, to cover this up now, a potential grand jury. So I'm going to go to you what I talked about with David. Names. Brennan,
she has a drink
Clapper,
she loves and loves everybody.
Hillary Clinton.
I don't
what
like
do you think
drink.
we will see potentially coming out of this grand jury?
Y'all better be glad I wasn't no drunk when y'all was growing up, boy. Woo! I could have been beating on kids.
You were beating on kids.
Well, it's certainly a step toward accountability.
I should have whooped on y'all.
Mom would not.
For the
She wouldn't have stopped.
Yes, she would.
She couldn't have stopped.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she would have beat you the hell
Just
up.
like this tall.
Okay, she would have jumped on you and ripped your
Whatever.
jugular out.
Chapman's.
soft coup attempt that you and me and Miranda and many of us have been dealing with and covering for a decade now. But it certainly is worth that coverage because you're talking about an effort that involved the weaponization of government and of law enforcement agencies, of the deep state, of the media, of the Democrat Party, from the top down, as you mentioned, Hillary Clinton, to effectively nullify a presidential election and destroy a presidential administration. It's really hard to think of something more serious than that. And I think, at a minimum, getting information out, which I know D&I Gabbard and others in the intel community are very focused on doing, that's critical because of the need for political accountability. But now we're looking at the possibility of legal accountability. And I would just remind everyone that we don't have to have this standard in this country where only Republicans ever have to face, in the case of Trump, wrongfully face charges and the legal system. It needs to be a both ways thing. They have to start to suffer the consequences of their misdeeds, of their violations of statute. And if that includes former senior members of the intelligence community, let me tell you, John Brennan, for example, ruthless with people who violated statutes. In some cases, I know people in the agency, CIA, who say was a particularly nasty fellow if somebody broke any statute that has to do with intelligence. So why he all of a sudden would get special treatment in this situation, given the gravity of what he did, it's beyond me. I would like to see where this goes. I'd like to see what the grand jury does. But for the first time, I think, Will, there are people who are involved in this soft coup who are starting to sweat. This is serious. A.G. Bondi and the Trump administration are not playing games.
No, in fact, let's take a quick look back at the accusations and the timeline. Here it is on your screen. The FBI knew a hoax came from Hillary Clinton and her campaign. They ignored then the key intelligence. The Clinton campaign then used or possibly coordinated with the Obama FBI to accelerate the narrative, put it under the patina of an investigation, then leak that out to the press. The FBI then placed thousands of docs in burn bags for destruction, but that was found by Kash Patel. And it shows that Hillary Clinton approved to concoct the plan that Donald Trump was colluding with Russia. Really quickly, back to you, Buck. I know you're not an attorney, but you are very well versed in the law. You're very intelligent, and you have been involved in intelligence agencies. You heard me ask David Spunt about potential charges.
What about all this
Essentially,
money from
he said,
they got people that are donating money to the Democratic Party, and James O'Keefe is going out asking the people, hey, did you donate $18,000 to the Democrat Party? And they go, no. Well, it says right here that you did. That you did donate.
I don't like any politicians. I'm just saying.
Said something about lying to a law enforcement officer. Do you see, in any sense, what those charges might be for, as you point out, the legal accountability?
I think that you're going to run into some problems. That would be a US 1001. This is very common. You know, Will, I did terrorism investigations at the Intel Division, the NYPD, working with the FBI in many cases, and that was a common statute, right? Some guy's lying about something in the course of the terrorism investigation. Hey, did you try to buy explosives from this guy on this day, whatever it may be, and they get them on that. Problem is, I believe the statute is 5 years. There's some ways you can extend that statute. So I think something more like seditious conspiracy is what you might be seeing here, because the statute on that may extend enough. But honestly, there are so many, there are truly thousands of federal criminal statutes. And as we've seen from the administration before this, they're willing to get very creative. I have a feeling that a massive conspiracy to undo the Trump administration from the inside tripped up some statutes that they may decide are going to be brought to the forefront.
Buck, you and I have had long conversations about the
be the superhero
criminal code. It's almost
and then he don't get no kind of recognition.
I think they put together a congressional task force to try to quantify the number of laws out there that now exist within federal law. Last question to you, Miranda, and let's go back to media. You had this incredible quote in your New York Post column that we talked about earlier today from Mark Elias, who is really one of the central figures in the Steele dossier's creation. And he was begging, imploring the media not to cover what you and I and Buck are talking about today. He's begging the media to say this is just another story of misuse of power of the authoritarian Donald Trump. A grand jury impanelment against whoever it may be is hard to continue to dismiss as the misuse of power. I will be curious to see if that 2 minutes of coverage on ABC, CBS, and NBC
And they should have
can't turn
kicked
into
your ass out of
more
there.
appropriate
And then they should have went and got your
amount
tag
of
number
attention.
and took your driver's license away. Because you're crazy.
Yes, I think that they will be hard-pressed to ignore or suppress this news.
Who can't
But
drive?
of course,
I've been driving longer than you've been alive, girl.
Blindy. Can't even see the road.
President Trump said today, seemed to clarify it that he's not going to fire him. So we got to wait until May. And Scott Bessent is going to hold. He's holding a process.
They do.
Let me
When you
ask
get
you
all
something.
sorts of
Something
age,
you
they take them away
mentioned
from
before on digital assets.
They shouldn't have
We
them.
focus on that for a minute. What's he done wrong?
Yeah.
Well, he put banks out of business. And he has withheld master accounts from financial institutions.
Yeah, this is
that
my
would seem
youngest
by
stepdaughter,
statute to qualify
Abigail.
to receive them.
She comes up here and helps me on Monday.
I think he's overextended his authority. And in addition to that, it's like whack-a-mole trying to do business with the Fed.
444.
Nobody will take responsibility for who is the
Look, a lot of times I
bottom
look at the
line
clock
on
and be
dealing
like
with
11,
issues,
11,
whether it's the
10,
Fed
10.
presidents, the bank presidents, the
12.
head of bank supervision, the chair of the Federal Reserve. It is, Larry, you wouldn't believe what a morass that place
Is
is
the
to
Fed
deal with.
blocking? Is the Fed blocking the cryptocurrency revolution in your judgment?
Absolutely. The manner in which banks that were dealing with digital assets as borrowers, and they were put out of business, literally, by the bank regulators of the Fed. And those were solvent banks, Larry. Those banks were not.
Looking out for you.
And the Fed wants its
I took
own
my
central
shoes off
bank
one time because your
digital
mama.
currency, which would be a lousy idea.
Or I give her
don't
my
you think?
socks.
Terrible idea.
Because your mama's
The
shoes
United
is killing her
States
feet.
doesn't need
We
a
haven't seen
direct-to-consumer
George Carlin.
CBDC or a wholesale CBDC. Now, Jay Powell
Old comedian,
agrees that
we
we
went
should
and seen
not
him, and she said,
have
"My feet
a
killing me."
direct-to-consumer
Take your shoes off.
CBDC. So I agree
I
with him
got
on
off,
that.
and so I give her my socks.
That's very gentlemanly.
That damn so was. I was going to give her a piggyback ride. I said, I can't do it. My back hurts.
Now, we have a lot of debt that's been left to us, unfortunately, over many years. We'll take care of that, but the tariffs...
She said, hi, Abigail. Jennifer did. She's from England.
Understood the tariffs. We're going to be
Yeah,
giving people
she's got that
in
accent.
this country a tremendous tax cut. And we're going to start with people making less than $200,000 a year.
You can hear it come through in her
And
comments.
it's possible we'll do a complete tax cut because I think the tariffs will be enough to cut all of the
Hello.
Now, we have a lot of debt that's been left to us, unfortunately, over many years. We'll take care of that with the tariffs. If people only understood the tariffs, we're going to be
I
giving
never watch
people
it. I know who he
this
is.
country a tremendous tax cut. And we're going to start with
Chapman.
people making less than $200,000
Hello.
a year.
It's like a crazy drawing, though. The drawing looks crazy.
Because I think the tariffs will be enough to cut all of the income tax. Now, we have a lot of debt that's been left to us, unfortunately, over many years. We'll take care of that. But the tariffs, if people only understood the tariffs, we're going to be giving people of this country a tremendous tax cut.
Yeah,
And we're
he's going to be giving us
people making less than $200,000
like a refund off all this tariff money he's taking in.
tax cut because I think the tariffs will be enough.
Well, no, hold up. When he starts giving out to you, can't have one. You don't like him.
That doesn't matter.
What do you mean it don't matter? Oh, you would take his money and you don't like him?
Yeah.
That's bad.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you don't like him.
If some random man on the side of the street was hitting on me, he offered me $100, I'd be like, thank you, bye.
No, it's wrong.
Right? You're going to lose them, and if we lose them, I don't care if we've redistricted 12 seats. We're going to have a tough time hanging on because people, they on this one, they think it's egregious enough, and they agree with you, and they agree with the President of the United States. This is the greatest political crime in the history
It
of
won't rust if you put oil on it and paint it. But I know you ain't used up them are good nuts you used on that, man.
the nation, sir.
Well, I don't have $1 million no more.
Yeah,
No.
I think it's all rests with making sure that the Justice Department sticks this, that it resources it right, that it gets the right people in here. The great thing
She's
about
Welsh.
the strike force,
Oh,
you don't
she's-
need to have
she's
Senate
Welsh.
confirmed people on the strike force. Get the
still
best
English.
prosecutors, the best
I call them
agents
all English.
they can find. The roadmap is already
They all
been
sound
built.
the same.
Kash Patel wrote the roadmap. The
Yeah.
grand conspiracy
You from
team.
Wales?
There's lots and lots of work that has to happen very quickly. For instance, you've got to, if you're
All right,
going
we got Stewart's coming up next with his show. Get ready for his show. He's coming up. Are you dirty? They won't know how dirty you are.
Judy.
Hey, have you went on there and checked the channel out?
Oh, no, man.
Man, look, they be telling him to do things with his butthole. Look,
oh man,
he's been doing.
We're bullying him.
He's been painting.
You're being a bully.
He's been painting with his paintbrush. He's going like this, no hands.
Bring the case in order, like what some people have been thinking about. You got to
look. It's on the internet. His channel is on the internet. Sharon was Stewart.
The research work to see was Jack Smith looking for Russia collusion documents when he went to Mar-a-Lago. Everybody says it, including Devin Nunes and Cass Patel. But you got to find those documents and put them out there. You've got to assign a grand jury. You got to start bringing people in. You've got to do like what Jerry Dunleavy did this morning, which is, all right, Hillary Clinton's out there the last 5 days on a propaganda thing. This is Russian disinformation. I never approved any plan. She admitted to proving a plan. Go through her book. Go through her speeches. Go through the op-eds her staff wrote. They were so proud of what they did back in 2017. They bragged about it. That is impeachable material. That takes time to do. We have an 8,000-word story today, basically the signed confessions of all of the Clinton team admitting they did this, even though now they're claiming they didn't. But that's what prosecutors also have to do. We have to demand that Pam Bondi give us regular updates so that we can not just hear that a strike force has been named, but who's on it? Where's it being worked? Where are the first subpoenas? If we don't see action, it isn't just losing 5 to 10% of the MAGA base short term, which I agree with you. You might even lose more than that, Steve. But long term, if we don't punish the behavior that we now know exists out there in its most egregious form, the temptation to do this the next time Democrats are in power is going to be enormous. You are going to handicap the future of this country and destine it to be a banana republic because the Democrats got away with it this time. That's the stakes are even higher than losing the MAGA base.
Did ask us as members of Congress to...
Texas Republican-controlled legislature's new redistricting map places Jasmine Crockett's address outside her district, forcing her to campaign among unfamiliar voters who are expected to largely oppose her re-election bid.
Confirm our addresses. I don't know how many of us actually still reside in the districts that we represent. I do not currently reside in my district based upon the plan that has been drawn, which is another red flag, in addition to courts consistently looking at how many people have been moved. But I know that this legislature did ask us
8 years. So I have watched over 8.
Ellen Chow went on TV to defend a Biden-appointed BLS commissioner after she was fired by Trump. Very difficult to temper or interfere with these numbers. 800,000 less jobs was created under Biden in 2024 than were initially told.
Years of monthly releases.
Ellen Chow, her sister died.
Running in a marathon, and when she looks over, she notices a friend of hers flew in from London to watch her finish. The friend flew in for like 24 hours.
She's got hair under her armpits.
And she sees the friend and she immediately starts bawling. She's like crying and running, and you can tell she's like overjoyed that her friend would do such a thing. I think sometimes when men are questioning why women are choosing to be single.
Hey, stop there. Stop there. What did men do again? How are we involved in people running and a friend going to support a friend? What did men do again? How did we get into this conversation of a friend from London to go and support the other one that is running like us? What did men do again? How did we get
Good night,
into
Jennifer.
this equation?
Sweet dreams
How
there,
did
girl.
we get into this? How?
Have a good one. We've been on here for an hour. We're going to wrap it up. Appreciate y'all being over here. Thanks for stopping by.
Follow me back. Alright. Come here, darling. Come here. Listen. If you follow her, you have to follow me. Wait. Come here. That's my goal. Alright, not for long. You're gonna message me though. Yeah, well, you're gonna come back to the villa tonight. Drop me a message, Rhea. What's your name? Lily. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Sorry, brother. Game's the game, mate. You got to hella off, bruv. You look like a cock on live right now.
Yeah. It's live as well.
Yeah. Mate, you can't have that, bruv. You are.
I know.
Mate, tell her, bro. Tell her you're done right now.
Not right now.
Ah.
I don't know.
You're finished, bro. You're finished.
What the fuck's going on? Well, I just went, is there a chance you go on Maine tonight, even though your boyfriend's going? Just she went, maybe. But her boyfriend's like, I can't do it.
I couldn't understand what the hell they were saying.
Trash man once in their life. When I started dating my husband, I was 16, he was 17, and I knew from the get-go that this man was as white trash as they come. One time, I was at my parents' house, and he pulled up, he's like, hey, I just got something bugged by a white trash man once in their life. When I started dating my husband, I was 16, he was 17, and I knew from the get-go that this man was as white trash as they come. One time, I was at my parents' house, and he pulled up, he's like, hey, I just got something really cool, come outside. He pulls up in his truck that only turns left. Behind it, he is towing a camper that he got for free and paid too much for. He was so proud of this thing, and I remember my mom was mortified. My dad looked at this man and said, oh, thank God, somebody who will be able to handle her. Now, they did say that he couldn't drive me places in his vehicles. He had to drive one of my parents. You know, I was still a child, and they did not want me stranded on the side of the road. The beauty about loving a white trash man is that they know hard work. They have to work hard for everything they've got. And they ain't never had nothing nice in their life, so anything that you need fixed, they either know how to do it or know somebody who knows how to do it, and that person probably owes them a favor for how they fix something that they needed fixed in the back. The thing is when you love a white trash man, you get to pay very low prices for your home. Not live in the HOAs. Homeboy could not. He didn't even live in an HOA, and we almost got kicked out of a house one time because it looked like a junkyard in the front yard. And listen, that was just us. I knew what I was getting into. We found the house that we're living in now. It is the cutest little house on 10 acres, and he can live out his white trash dream. Now, do our neighbors do meth? A little bit. The thing about people who do meth is they normally have wonderful hearts. Great people. Everybody's got their own problems. When you are a little bit white trash, you attract the white trash. And so our other neighbor who does not do meth, great people. Occasionally they shoot off a cannon, but I digress. And they come over, they run to help us anytime we need it. Before anybody's like, don't call that man white trash. Listen, you don't know where I came from. I identify as trailer trash. I hope no matter how far I get in life, I hope I never lose my white trash.
5 minutes. 4:55. What time was your computer say?
4:42.
Well, it's 4:55.
Yeah, what's wrong with it?
I don't know. You need to get that fixed. Probably put some water in it.
Hi. God, I want to do him.
Don't leave me.
I know. I'm gonna miss you.
I already miss you, baby. Alright, bye. Have a good day. Don't forget the trash. I already told you earlier.
Oh my God, get off my back.
Bring the barrels in.
Babe, I'm leaving.
Bye.
Are you gonna come say goodbye?
Brian, I'm taking a shit right now.
Hi.
Isn't that he's not allowed to do it. My objection is the rank hypocrisy and dishonesty of what he's saying. I'm going to hold this up. Can you see this? Do you see this? I want Pritzker, did CNN, did y'all have him on to explain Illinois 13, this pinky-sized finger that goes across the entire state that was 100% drawn for partisan political purposes, but I haven't seen anybody at CNN or pretty much any of the other major networks bringing him on, or the Democrats and his legislator that drew a map with districts that are far more gerrymandered than anything that the House, that the Texas maps that we're contemplating look like here today. So it's rank hypocrisy. That's my problem. And the dishonesty and the faux outrage. They're not mad that states are redistricting for partisan purposes. They're mad that a Republican state is doing it.
I would figure out that.
Isn't that he's not allowed to do it. My objection is the rank hypocrisy.
Violating the Constitution as much.
So how long did you protest, and what was your protest schedule like under the Biden administration?
Oh, I didn't do any then. I wasn't aware of any protests then.
But you could just come out by yourself and stand against. You know what, that's a good point. There was no organized protest in this type of demeanor, in this scale that's going on now? Why is it there's this massive scale with a lot of Soros money behind it, and these big websites and these big, huge donors to these protests, but none during the Biden administration?
Because during the Biden administration, they weren't violating the Constitution as much.
Oh, they weren't.
No.
They were requiring people to get vaxxed and get shots.
No, they weren't.
Oh, they weren't doing
No,
that.
they were-
Okay, we'll put in a clip right now of all of the people, all of these service members and in the military who got discharged for not getting the shot.
If active service members don't get the vaccine by December 15th, they could face punishment, including being discharged dishonorably.
Do you think that's right, though? Do you think service member and people should be forced to get a shot?
Thank you.
Okay. So I think that's very telling.
And 21-year-old Daria and 19-year-old Karina, alongside an unidentified male, have been arrested after filming a social media video earlier today in front of a burning oil depot in Adler, southwestern Russia, which was targeted last night.
Я воин Божий есть, подари надежду жить по природе колесить. Вдруг меня морозит звук, передай это вокруг. Нам напел местный гид, я пою для... Покажи мне дорогу, хип-хоп пошлет. Моя...
In 85 eyes in 6 days, the motion prevails. The sergeant at arms and any officers appointed by her are directed to send all absentees whose attendance is not excused for the purposes of securing and maintaining their attendance under warrant of arrest if necessary until further order of
You finna head out? You finna head out? Yep. You need to put all that stuff away there, girl.
Who parks in your driveway?
They are still there! Who parks in someone else's driveway?
Yeah. I'm gonna park right in front of their car. Okay, so I'm gonna go knock on my neighbor's door.
Jody.
Who parks
What concrete floor?
in someone else's driveway? There's plenty of spots. Like, there's plenty of spots. I don't get it.
When I go down in the morning, I gotta go by the tag off too.
And?
Let's see if I get the tag for the door. Tomorrow's last date, so I'm gonna get the paperwork up here and the tile or whatever we got. But yeah, I'm gonna go by the probation officer, everybody get there.
These are not people that make up stories. These are, they said all. I know, sir, is there was a round object that was going 4 times faster than my F-22, which is a very fast plane, and it wasn't, you know, it shouldn't have been. It was round, sir. They have seen, I mean, 4 or 5 guys I've interviewed, solid people, great pilots for the U.S. Air Force, etc. They've seen things that they cannot explain. And they were in the Oval Office, 3 or 4 pilots. These are not people
right
that make up stories. These are. They said, all I know, sir, is there was a round object that was going 4 times faster than my F-22, which is a very fast plane. And it wasn't, you know, it shouldn't have been. It was round, sir. They have seen, I mean, 4 or 5 guys I've interviewed, solid people, great pilots for the U.S. Air Force, etc. They've seen things that they cannot explain. And they were in the Oval Office, 3 or 4 pilots. These are not people that make up stories. These are some. They said, all I know, sir, is there was a round object that was going 4 times faster than my F-22, which is a very fast plane.
Chapman.
And it wasn't, you know, it shouldn't have been. It was round, sir. They have seen, I mean, 4 or 5 guys I've interviewed.
There you go.
Solid
Where you
people,
going?
great pilots for the U.S. Air Force, etc.
No, you got to get the
They've seen things that they cannot explain. And they were in the Oval Office, 3 or 4 pilots. These are not people that make up stories. These are, they said, all I know,
Oh, I
sir,
seen
is
him
there
out
was a
there.
round object.
He comes out. He comes over here every morning.
My F-22, which
He's
is
like,
a very
he
fast
don't
plane.
catch me coming in. He comes in the office.
You know, it shouldn't have been.
Walks up in here and say, "Hey man, where my pretzels at, bitch? I'm starving out here."
Not the bitch word.
Yeah,
Solid people,
he does.
great pilots for the U.S. Air Force, etc. They've seen things that they cannot explain. And they were in the Oval Office, 3 or 4 pilots. These are not people that make up
Yeah. I don't know, but they don't taste.
There was a round
press
object
report
that
don't
was
taste
going
right.
4 times
Oh,
faster
it's
than
kind
my
of sour.
F-22, which
I
is a
will
very
say
fast
that
lane.
was kind of like a little weird.
Aaron, what are you doing right now?
I'm asking you what you're wearing. Nobody even thought about what I was wearing till you brought it up! You're dressed like a guy playing video poker at 2 a.m., Adam. And you know what, Donuts? I like the way I look, you know, because I'm a good person. I don't care about what I wear, what I don't wear. Did my snazzy gym shorts and fluffy sweatshirt offend you so much that you had to mock me in front of my peers? Hey, I'm sorry. Yeah, believe it! I have to.
No?
It's not you! No, it's not you, it's him!
Yeah, grab it on my side. Give some to your mama now.
With their own eyes. And what they're seeing is massive amounts of propaganda. Look what the New York Times had to admit to just in the last few days. I've heard repeat.
What did the New York Times
They admitted
running
a photo that was a complete and total hoax.
They admitted that they ran a photo of a starving child who also had a disease.
You're gonna
Is that
defend
the
this?
admission?
It's
So
a
you're
hoax.
gonna act like people
and
aren't
it was
starving?
sent around the world
Okay.
to make people
Scott,
think that Israel
what
had
about
starved that
all
child. He
the-
had a
what about-
pre-existing
What
condition.
about all the other children in that story? What about them? Are they a hoax?
Abby,
Don't-
there is a
no, no, no,
there is
don't,
a
Abby,
there is a
don't- no.
Abby,
Okay.
there
Don't-
is a
don't
coordinated
do that,
propaganda
Scott.
campaign
Don't do
right
that,
now
Scott.
to paint
Are all
a
of those
distorted
other-
picture of what's happening.
Are all of those other children a hoax?
Some of them are. There have been other stories
all
about
of those
children being
other
that
children a
Israel's
hoax?
actually paying
There
to
have
have
been
taken care of for their
there have been
pre-existing
25
conditions.
people who died of starvation.
And on top of
Scott,
that,
hang on a second. You just claimed that this whole thing
They
was
ran a
hoax.
correction. They ran a correction.
You claimed, what you claimed was that
Stuart.
all of these young people, not just young people, but everybody in the world, the photos that they're seeing, the stories that they're reading, the first-person accounts are a hoax? Are they a hoax?
I'm saying that the photo that the New York Times ran and then ran
Okay.
a correction on is a part of a propaganda campaign that is occurring right now.
I do not agree with you on the New York Times photo, but let's say that one was wrong. They ran a correction. Fine. What about all of the other children?
Sure.
What about all of the other
What about
people?
all of the other
So
hoaxes?
when you
I've
say
heard
that this
people
is a
say-
hoax, Scott,
Wait,
no,
Yeah,
Scott,
Jimmy,
I'm
don't
putting a
throw water
stop
for
to
the
the
Jews
talking
there,
points.
Scott.
Okay? That's what I'm doing here.
Are you?
Because I'm talking about human
When are
beings.
we gonna put a stop to the propaganda?
Listen, we've said it before on this show. We are talking about real things here, not talking points. Leave the talking points at the door.
Can I give you another example?
Scott.
I don't like her.
He's not going to cry the whole time.
What do you put you on the next slide? What do you put you on the next slide? No, I can't. I have to. And your name? Tabitha 976. Thank you, Tabitha. You may not have a job tomorrow.
Hey, you getting ready?
No, I can't. I can't, Tabitha. Well, I have to do it screaming. I'm not screaming. I'll be quiet now, please. Okay, I'm sorry. I was really stressed out.
It just so turns out this woman named Susan Perez works for the New York State Council of Arts. And now Perez's name and image will be removed from the council's official website and she's been placed on a leave of absence.
He's not going to cry the whole time.
Jeff Sessions? I think it's not a message to the president as much as it is to Jeff and the country. You know, the president has the right to fire anybody in his cabinet. As a human being, I think he should show some respect for Jeff Sessions as a person.
They're calling for an investigation on Barack Obama. It's getting ugly. Huh? Yeah, getting ugly for the Democrats.
Talk to you for a second. MSNBC sucks.
Okay. Sometimes this happens, and we understand that that can happen. And while we love free speech, we're going to keep control here. So, Ryan, thank you. Shaq, thank you. A volatile story. We'll be following it. And apparently, not only Shaq cleaned up.
Shaq,
okay.
the basketball player?
Stay with us here because Ryan has
Totally
cleared the set, as we would like to
Totally
say. The gentleman
MSNBC
moved on. So,
golf
Ryan,
club.
let me turn back to you.
Chapman.
Nicely handled there. Can you give us an update on,
Hello,
as you
hello.
were walking us through this, we'll all take a breath there. Maybe not. Okay.
He's telling me so.
Go ahead, Ryan. See,
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah. Okay. We're just going to pull the plug there. Thank
Kelly,
you,
this
Ryan.
is all playing out in real time.
It sure
Passion is high.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of anger here, as you can see. So we're going to get a control of this and come back to you when we can.
Fair enough, fair enough. And we recognize people are expressing their views,
he's
and we're there to
shaking his
cover
boots.
it.
He's
You
gonna
do
go to
that
jail.
job.
He's gonna
We'll
go
move
get
on
more
with our
treason.
audience. Thanks for your patience.
Put him on the
with all
damn
of that.
gallows.
So that's penalty type shit.
And he's gonna say, he's gonna say, hold on, I'm a Kenyan. Y'all can't do this to me. I'm from Kenya. Oh no, buddy. You don't get to say you're from Kenya now.
Right, you as the president of the United States.
A brilliant trick I learned from an Italian friend. To start today's recipe, we're going to need 2.5 cups of milk.
Huh?
We're going to add half a cup of water. And then we'll add 250 grams of pasta. And before I forget,
look at that.
Tell me which
Pasta
city you're
and milk.
watching from so I can send you a special shout out. Today's shout
Pasta
out
and
goes
milk.
to Emma Johnson from Miami, Florida.
Does good too.
I'm so happy you're enjoying
Look at
our
that,
recipes.
creamy. Look at
Notice that the milk is slowly starting to thicken.
Look, it's thickening up, making like a gravy.
Now I'll add 1 tablespoon of
Put
butter.
some butter in there.
I'm sure you're going to be surprised by the final result, and you'll
Yeah.
want to make this often. I'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper,
I put more pepper.
1 teaspoon of paprika. I learned this secret from the owner of a 5-star restaurant, and I never ate pasta any other way
That's
after
the only way
that.
I eat my pasta.
Now I'll add some mozzarella cheese. The amount is up to
Yeah.
you.
And
Use
then
as
put a
much
piece
as
of
you like.
Parmesan chicken on.
If you want, you can
Parmesan
also
cut.
add other types of cheese, like Parmesan or cheddar.
Mozzarella.
Cover and let it cook for 15 minutes.
I like to burn it a little bit on
In another pan,
Yeah, get it
I'm
crispy.
going to drizzle some olive oil. Add 200 grams of bacon. I'm sure you'll come back here to thank me after you try it.
You're gonna put that in the noodles.
Using a spatula, stir while frying. Add 1
Onions?
chopped onion.
Hell yeah.
3 minced garlic cloves.
Garlic.
just the way it is.
I'm certain this will become part of your routine, just like it became part of mine. This is the secret that big restaurant owners don't want you to find out. I started saving so much on lunch after learning this. Now add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of paprika, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. Look how beautiful it's
I put
getting.
cayenne pepper in
And you
this.
can't even imagine how good it smells. If you don't believe this pasta recipe is as amazing as I say, try making it at home and then come back to tell me what you think. It's a perfect option for busy days.
Yeah, but I want it spicy.
It's so easy that it's ready in less than 30 minutes. This is exactly how it should look.
Look at that.
Transfer the bacon to a plate.
Yeah.
That's where we'll build our dish. My family asks me to make it almost every day. Finally,
Wow.
add the pasta we prepared earlier.
How do you use steak instead of to eat a steak strip?
It's
I
so
didn't
good
know
you
that
won't be
make
able to
me
eat
mad.
just a little.
Oh yeah, you gotta do better than that.
Come on, man.
I learned this trick from my Italian friend, who told me this is his favorite way of eating pasta.
Yeah, I'd eat that whole thing by myself.
Let me make 2 points that will be very controversial, and you may disagree with them completely. Jeffrey Epstein was not a pedophile. That term has a specific meaning. It means people who are sexually attracted to prepubescent girls or boys. That is 11, 12 years old. That's the definition of all psychiatrists and of the law. Epstein was interested in 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds. He was a bad person, did terrible, terrible things. The word pedophile is not a correct description of what he was. Number 2, he was not a trafficker. Traffickers make money by selling and enslaving.
Alan Durst was a fucking liar, man. He was Epstein's lawyer, too. All right, there, people. We're going to wrap this up. Stuart's finna get up in here and do his thing. Y'all go get your popcorn. Get ready for it. You can get stripped down or whatever you got, oiled up, however you want to do it. He's finna jump in the shower. He's real dirty today. He's been out there weed eating, probably stinks.
Oh god damn.
But they don't care. They don't care if you stink, man.
You gotta not dance.
What?
Oh, that's what you do.
Well, I'm just promoting your show. What?
It's not getting any higher than I do.
It is getting higher, man. You're at 942 subs. 942. You need 58 more and you're monetized. We gonna get you there, man. I'm telling you, y'all get ready. Tell your friends and neighbors to come on in there and watch him. What are you gonna do special for him?
I'm not doing shit, Bill.
You got look. Do you got soap? Do you got gloves? Soap gloves? Well, I never used them before. I always use a rag. Sarah got me using soap gloves.
Man. That's all I got.
No, soap gloves.
I don't use them.
Like they're like.
Then I get in there and scrub up, and then I get water and towel.
What are you using, a rag?
I'm using one of them squeezy things.
A sponge, like a sponge. That's like the gloves are like that.
Okay.
The soap gloves. We'll get you some. Y'all send him in some soap gloves if you want to see him get soapy. Yeah, because you can't use them. You can't use them things taking your privates real fast like that. It'll rub a blister on that thing. I'm telling you, it'll be raw.
Damn.
Y'all tune in and y'all leave a comment for Stuart. We'll holler at y'all win, Jamie. Later. So they getting ready to do your thing, man. You get ready to do your thing. Put it on. What you need to do is go in there and get you some bubbles. You can blow bubbles.
I don't know what happened to the blue light we had in the shower.
I don't know what you did to it. You tore it up.
Attorney General Pam Bondi today signed an order directing an unnamed U.S. federal prosecutor to take evidence to a grand jury relating to an alleged conspiracy to tie then 2016 candidate Donald Trump to the country of Russia. Now, Fox News reviewed the one-page order just hours ago signed by the Attorney General. A source familiar with the probe confirms this as well, while a DOJ spokesperson declined to comment on this report of an investigation. Fox is told Attorney General Bondi is taking the referrals from Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, quote, very seriously. The spokesperson says that Bondi believes there is, quote, clear cause for deep concern, end quote, and a need for the next steps. Now,
Bigfoot got him. That's why I send you a bunch of Bigfoot shit. You know how big the world is? They say that they're living underground in the tunnel. They come out and snatch people in like national state parks. Like what is that big one out there, Yellowstone? They're fucking gateways to the underground. They're real.
Way is by not.
They're real.
Texas House Democrats. Nice little stunt you pulled over the weekend. Yeah, you guys flew to Illinois on a nice private jet that costs about $17,000 an hour to fly, right? Thank you, Benny Johnson, for that little bit of information. But, you know, shit, semantics. I'm not talking about all that. What I am talking about is, you know what? Did you see your email? Did you see it? Because I read it, actually. It's posted on X, yeah. Your governor, Governor Abbott, you know, who's technically who you report to, and the people of the great state of Texas. I do miss the Texas skies. Maybe you ignored it or you hit delete because you think you're, you know, above it all. You might want to go ahead and open it because he has given you until 1500 this afternoon. That's today. That's 3 o'clock for you civilians. Yeah. To get your monkey ass back to the Texas House and do your fucking job and vote on this redistricting. See, we know what you're doing. You're trying to pull an okie doke. You think this is the